Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Drive-By Reviews, where today we're going to change the trunk switch on a Chevy Cruze LTZ 2012. What's the problem? I got the fob, it's a keyless fob, and the button will not activate. But if you press the open trunk button on the key, there you go, which means the switch is faulty. So here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a replacement trunk light, which comes with the lights as well, a flathead screwdriver, a pair of scissors, 7mm socket, 10mm socket, and of course the wrench itself, a body panel tool set, and a bottle of sake. And that's what you're gonna need, my friends. Let's dive right in and get it done. All right, step number one, use a 7mm socket to remove the trunk handle. Don't even need the wrench for this, really. There's two. Step two, take your body panel tool to go right underneath the locking pin. Should come out relatively easily. And once the locking pin's out, just go right underneath the clip and pull that out too. Easy as that. We're gonna repeat that process for each one of these clips throughout the inner lining. All right, so we removed all those clips. Step number three is to take off the plastic latch cover. So you're just gonna take one of your tools, get right underneath it there, and you're just gonna give it a nice solid twist. Just a little bit of persuasion, a little bit. Let's go on both sides. And it comes right off. And once that's done, you're ready to remove your liner from the trunk space. Step number four, just push that emergency trunk release back out through the liner and leave it up. All right, and once you remove the trunk liner, put it somewhere safe. This, by the way, is one of the problems with the Chevy Cruze, and I'll show you right here. As you can see, out here in the Pacific wet-ass Northwest, it's got a bunch of moisture in there, and that's the problem that happens with the trunk switch. It's sealed kind of like this. There's really nothing going on to seal it. So moisture just gets into that. It basically gets dirt and rust into your button, and then it no longer works. So that's why I got to repair this. It's actually a good idea to seal it. Today we're not going to be doing that as part of the tutorial, but if there's a lot of interest in that, I'll show you that as well. All right, next up, come on in here, because this green wire is what connects to your switch. So you're just going to pull that out. It's just an easy disconnect and leave it there. This guy connects all the way up to this grommet. Okay, so this green wire goes right up to this grommet. You're just going to push it out. You can leave it right there, because now we're going to move on to these bolts. It's here. One's way out over here. Getting real thirsty. Real thirsty for some sake. Oh, it's already. All right, now that you remove those bolts, the next step is to take the trim piece off. So it's held on by a couple clips remaining. All you gotta do is just take one of your tools, your plastic tools here. You're gonna kind of go through and just pop it up until it pops off. And you got a little bit of wiggle room there. It's just those little yellow clips that were keeping it in. We'll just pop it right back in. But here you go, here's your green wire with the grommet coming up to your trunk switch, and we're just gonna take that guy out. Man, look at that filth back there. This is nothing sealed. It's ridiculous. Nothing sealed. There's no seal. Look how much crap's getting into that switch. All right, so your trunk switch is kind of clipped in there, so you just kind of push it out. Careful though, there's some sharp pieces in there. You just kind of remove it there, shove it back through. And there's the old piece. Now I bought mine complete with the wiring all the way to the lights, so we're gonna replace these as well. And because I have that kit, instead of just trying to repair this and just replace that little switch piece, I'm gonna repair the whole apparatus. So I'm gonna use a Phillips screwdriver just to remove these screws and replace these lights as well. All right, so once you have that unscrewed, just go back here, and all you do to remove the light is you just kind of give it a twist at the back, counterclockwise. It'll come right out. I'm just gonna remove that bulb because they're still good for later. I think my pack has new ones, but we'll find out. And then once that's done, you can just use your scissors to cut up these wires and remove this, or you can just wrench it out because we're done with this. All right, so we're taking our new piece here, which has the plug, right, the switch, the grommet. Take these wires and we're just gonna push that into this holder piece. That's the trim. All right, so you get the wires underneath that, and then you just kind of slide it on over with its protective cover there. And we'll do the same thing to the other side. All right, once you got that light in, you're just gonna stick it through, put it in the apparatus here. And we're just gonna turn it till it clicks, or it doesn't really click, it just kind of solidifies in there. You're just gonna put this socket right back in, Just light apparatus, and then we're gonna screw it back on. All right, we got both lights in, so we're gonna take the switch. We're just gonna push it on through. You're gonna have that big ribbed portions facing the front of your trim, and then you're just gonna push it back till it clicks, and you've completed the apparatus. So now we're just gonna go into reverse as we removed it and put the trim back in. Feed the snake. Feed the snake. Clickety clack. Two clicks. Everything on it's $20, dude. Get it on tight enough so it doesn't fall off when you're going 120.
Kilometers?
Absolutely. Driving on the right. Bolts back it on. All right, so we got the wire back. We're just gonna plug that right back in to there. And now before you put everything back on, I wanna make sure it works. So here we go. All right, the door liner was stored in a safe place, luckily, so let's put it back on. Just push that safety. Someone stole my car and threw me in the trunk switch back in. There we go. Everything kind of just loosely in place there. Now let's get our clips back in. You can kind of have them lined up just like that. And it goes in, done. Put it in. Trunk latch, covered. And last but not least, you put the trunk handle back on. Here we go. Get that 7mm bolt back in. And with that, you're finished.
All right, partner. I hope you got your trunk switch fixed. No problem. Thanks for tuning in, and tune in next time to Drive By Reviews.